right, so we are back. We got our interview of the evening going down right now. And yeah, we're still Zooming. You know, we haven't been able to go back over to the Youngsterdam. Big shouts to the Youngsterdam at 529 Yonge Street, corner Wellesley. But we're making do in these times. And we have a special guest in our Zoom meeting right now. A jack of all trades, or a Jackie of all trades. I don't know what the other...
Jill. It's Jill.
Jill of all trades? Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Jill.
Is it Jackie?
I don't fucking know. Right? But...
Well, that could work too.
You know, like, I see her doing, like, the rapping and the singing, and then, like, I feel like you got, like, a comedy bones going on somewhere, too, because, like, you're very animated online, and then, like, you do modeling and all these different things. That's why I say Jill of all trades. So
there's definitely a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So with no further ado, we have Nanu, aka It's Crazy Latina, in the Zoom.
Know you heard about my past. Don't gotta have strings attached. Come numb your face between.
Hey.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Good.
Yo, how are you dealing with things like, okay, besides what I see on Instagram, because when I go through the stories, sometimes I feel like you're losing your mind in the crib, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the word is losing my mind, but I've definitely been able to get like really, really creative to a point that sometimes it is questionable. Sometimes it's like, am I mentally there? I don't know. But like any artist, you know?
Yeah.
You can go a little bit crazy, but I don't mind it too much. I've been having a lot of fun, aside from the financial part, of course, which is like, god damn. It's been really fun for me.
Yeah. Creatively, are you making music?
Yes,
like,
I made a whole bunch of tracks. Yeah, and now I'm recording tomorrow, which is going to be the next track that's going to come out. So definitely had a lot of time to work on art and songs and skits and stuff. So in that sense, I love it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. At least you're keeping productive.
There's one thing a skit that I seen where like you had like yourself wearing masks popping up like little faces. Like, did you do that yourself? Like, how long are you taking to do one of these skits right there? Or is that like some Instagram tricks?
Was it the virus one?
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, we don't say that word over here. That's the C word for us.
That one. So that one was actually, thank God, I was with my friend that day, and we spent hours building the whole thing. But it was just, I call it a brain fart. Like, I get these ideas out of nowhere. I'm crazy like that. I'm just like, yo, what if we like use the mask as a bra? And we were trying to make the bra and then filming it 300 takes. It definitely took like 5 hours to make that one. But to me, it's just so fun. And thank God my friend too, we were having so much fun with it that it was like, it's enjoyable. It takes a lot of time, some of them, but I enjoy doing it.
Well, it definitely keeps also your name buzzing as an artist because you keep on putting out different content into the scene, just besides just waiting for your new music video to drop. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people will just wait on that.
Yeah, and I think that that's the thing when I like have content coming is that a lot of times I take my time to do my songs. I don't like just like, I'm a big perfectionist when I'm making my songs. So sometimes I will take like 3 months to do a song. So in those 3 months, I'm like, okay, I got to keep people like entertained and watching. And that's where all my crazy ideas come.
Yeah. What would you call your musical style?
I'm a teen. I get wasted in Lavelle. I'm a teen. Pay to party. It's like Barbie. I'm a teen. I dance if I wanna.
Definitely a fusion. It's definitely a mix in between reggaeton, hip hop, and pop, and now R&B too. I'm bringing R&B inside, so I just fuse a lot of genres, the genres that I like the most, and kind of make them my own in my way.
Yeah, and like we were doing some research, and sorry, I'm like shooting. Anybody else got anything before I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. She's answering these questions. It's okay. Go on.
Okay, I've been like doing some research online. I was listening to the podcast here. What was it? The Toronto Show. Big up to those guys.
Yeah.
Great episode with them. You know what I mean? You guys had a really dope conversation. You say you shortened your name. You got the name Nanu from shortening the name Daniela, right?
Yeah.
What?
So from Daniela, like people usually tend to call you Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And in Spanish, a way of like treating something smaller is you add ita or you, which would be Danu. And that Danu became Nanu. And that's what they would call me when I was a little girl. So when I was looking for an artistic name, I was like, I can just use my name, which is Daniela Sofia. But I'm like, it sounds like a telenovela, like Daniela Sofia. I'm like, I can't use that. It's like you're walking into a Mexican telenovela if you hear that name. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use Nanu. But yeah, it was the nickname I had as a child.
Okay.
I like that. That's good.
That Nanu. You ever hear anybody tell you that?
You know that I heard about it later when I already was using the name and doing music. They told me about this Robin Williams thing, and I was like, "That's so cool! Like, I love it. I'm like a little alien."
Yeah, I'm like, because Herc, remember we were like, did she get the name from Mork and Mindy?
Yeah, that's what came to mind. That's definitely what came to mind was the Nanu from Mark and Mindy, because he said that's a line he would say all the time.
Yeah.
I know. When I saw it, I was like, "Yo, this fits perfect."
Yeah, and like even through that show, like you guys were going like they did a lot of research, and like they helped me to get some of the research done for what we're talking about now, right? You talked about you went through like a lot of different waves, like you with your parents divorcing, you went from like extremely rich to poor, right? What was the hardest thing in that adjustment from going from rich to poor, especially like you were in sorry, I forgot what country.
In Germany. Well, in Argentina. Germany was one before the divorce, and basically then I moved back to Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
I think the hardest, it just was so quick. It was so fast that I didn't really get to realize what was going on until one day, like I was talking about this in my stories the other day. Like I was so used to having everything, and one day it would be like opening the fridge and there was nothing, like absolutely nothing. And that was pretty shocking. And it kind of, I don't know if the word was like I lost a lot of hope when I was a kid. I was like really depressed because of that. But then now as an adult, I'm like, it taught me so much to be able to see all these sides of life and kind of like appreciate life in a different way. Like, as I said, the other day I was super baked. I opened the fridge, I saw a whole bunch of food, and I was like, yo, 5 years ago, I was like looking how to make a dry cracker taste better because there was nothing else to eat in my house. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. The fact that I can like have this right now. And that's why I was saying like, I'm so thankful of Canada, like so thankful of this country.
Yeah. Well, give us a list of all the different places you lived, because you've lived a lot of places.
So I was born in the States. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. But
Nice.
just because my parents were working there, my dad was working. My dad was always the one that was working. And then when I was like 1 year old or less, we went back to Argentina. And when I was 4 or 5, we went to Germany. And that's where I learned where to speak in English. That's the funny thing, because everyone's like, how do you not have an accent?
Yeah.
When I was in Germany, my dad's company sent us to like an international school, quote unquote. And it was all Canadian kids, American kids of like businessmen. So that's where I learned how to speak in English. I never really learned too much German. I know a little bit, but and then I went back to Argentina when I was 8 until I was 18, and then I came here.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yo, quick question. What did your pops do where his company put you in school, bro?
Yo, it was crazy because this school that they put me in was legitimately for extremely rich people. Like we couldn't even compare to that. One of my classmates was the daughter of basically one of the biggest shareholders of BMW and like one of the big car companies.
That's crazy.
And this bitch had a dolphin as a pet. And no one even wants to believe me until my mom saw it. I told my mom is like, there's no way someone has a dolphin as a pet. Like, the are you on? You're a kid. What are you talking about? And then when my mom talked to her mom, it was like, yeah, she has a dolphin. We just moved her to France in the summer. And it was like seeing this world of extremely wealthy people, you know. But my dad, he was an engineer. He is an engineer.
Okay.
Crazy.
A dolphin for a pet.
Echo the dolphin as your pet. That's mad.
Yo. Yeah.
They had a dolphin as a pet. And no
That's
one believes me until my
crazy.
mom comes in the story and is like, I was there to verify that this bitch had a dolphin as a pet.
That's nuts.
I wonder what kind of food you got to feed a dolphin, yo.
Well, they had him in an aquarium though, but fish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I completely forgot about the fact that you have to have an aquarium to be able to have the dolphin in the first place.
Where were you gonna put it, Friday? You thought it was just sleeping in her bed?
I don't know. In the pool, in the yard, doing laps in the swimming pool.
In the pool.
Right?
Jeez. Okay, so even with that, because that's super interesting, like going from like having money to being poor, did you ever get any resentment for rich people?
I definitely got like really humiliated by the people that were in my circle. It was definitely, they were really mean. They were really
it's like Mean Girls for real?
Yeah. They were really mean because when we go back to Argentina, everyone in Argentina was like, oh, here's a family of like the girl, like the ones that travel around and go all these different countries. And when we go back and my dad disappears and my mom ends up like completely alone, all these like other wives, like housewives, were like, ha, weren't you the one traveling, and now look at you have nothing.
Wow.
That's like crazy. This is like soap opera
That's some petty shit though.
Yeah, these were like desperate housewives having the time of their lives. They were like, ha, bitch.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
And the worst thing is that our house, we had to keep it for a while because in Argentina, legally, the government, no one can kick you out of your house. Mm-hmm. So we were super poor in a moment, like they cut our light, everything. We didn't even have gas in our house, but we were still in the house in a super rich neighborhood. And everyone was like, oh my God, like, remember when they used to have money and now look, they don't even have gas in their house. And we were like,
that's
so
crazy.
So how'd you get here to Toronto?
So it was because of my dad. Basically, my parents get divorced and my dad remarries and kind of like disappears. But he told me, he was like, if shit ever hits the fan, like you can call me. If things ever get rough. And things in Argentina definitely they were pretty rough when I was already like a teenager and stuff. Yeah. But the last couple of weeks I was there, I was okay, I have to get out of here. I was dating a guy that was horrible. Things at home were not good. So I picked up the phone and I was like, hey dad, remember me? Do you want to help me out here?
It's time.
Yeah, I was like, do you want
time to help me?
He bought me a ticket. I came to Canada, but even when I got to Canada, like right away, my dad gave me a month to be in his house, and then he was like, you're by yourself. Like you have a month to find a job, find how you're going to pay rent. He was really cutthroat, but he did help me in the sense of getting here. I was really privileged in the way I got here. I just made a call and right away, it took me 4 days to move to Canada.
Wow.
He got my flight. He was already a citizen here. So he just like gave me my papers and I was in Canada.
Okay. So
that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I was
4
really
days?
Lucky in that.
Shit. That's a quick turnover.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask a few more questions before we get to the music stuff, because you have like a really interesting story, right? What was Canada like when you first got here? Like, what was it like in your eyes? Like Toronto, like what the fuck?
I always say my heart is in Argentina, but Toronto made me a woman. Like the way Toronto beat me up and made me the woman I am today. Like to me, it was really rough because my dad, as he said, he just helped me to come to a better country. Then he was like, it's on your own. And oh my God, I made a whole bunch of mistakes and hung out with the wrong people. I did a whole bunch of bullshit. But 3 years ago, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And 3 years ago, I kind of like grounded myself and got into school and stuff. But at the beginning, Canada was rough. I was definitely not in the right path.
Yeah. What's one of the craziest things that happened to you when you first moved here?
So I dated a guy that he was basically like a hacker, a fraudster. Mm-hmm. And I should have known better, but I didn't because I was too comfortable with him kind of like spoiling me and stuff. Yeah. And then he ended up stealing my identity and stuff. So that one was, and thousands of dollars. I ended up in thousands of dollars of debt.
So your boyfriend lined you up?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was hanging out with the wrong people, met the wrong guy, and
the man said, yo, this is I eat food. And I get some perks on the side. No, sorry. Benefits, no perks. Benefits. Sorry, no perks.
That's crazy.
That's fucked up.
That
I
is
was
up.
18. I didn't even know what was going on. And I was like, this guy who I remember used to take me shopping and buy me everything. So I was so like, in that time, so dumb.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think, because people around me were like, how do you think he affords all this? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. Like, I'm just going to live the life.
Wow, so the man's probably taking you shopping on your own credit card, on your identity. Acting like, yeah, baby, get what you want. Don't worry, we're all good. Jeez.
Finessed. I got finessed.
Wow,
that is insane.
Yeah, the man, that's a finesse right there.
But after that, like, I learned the
It's a
lesson and I
learning
definitely
experience
became
also.
way more aware. Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
You
Awareness
have your eyes
is key.
open now.
Facts.
Awareness
You're
is
well
key.
aware,
As
you're
long
well
as you
aware.
learn from the mistake, that's all that matters.
That's it.
And I learned it
100%.
early too. I learned it early too. So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm going to throw 3 names at you. Shakira,
Okay.
Lady Gaga, and Cardi B. What do they all mean to you?
Shakira, she to me is like that Latina that was able to cross over. I feel like she's probably one of the first ones aside from Selena and stuff, but I love Shakira. Her as a showman too. I've seen her shows and I'm shook by how she gives shows. Lady Gaga is all the bullying she went through when she was like, you're never going to be anyone, like your nose is too big, you're f***ing ugly, and then becomes Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And Cardi B coming from the situation where, you know, she was a dancer, she was in the streets and stuff, and she became Cardi, and the same, like, you're never going to be anything, and she grew up. So to me, it's like mostly looking at people that were able to grow out of all the hate and all the negativity and all the people putting them down and telling them that they couldn't do it.
What do you think is one of the biggest struggles you find making music? Not even just as a woman, just making music, period. And then the second part of it is as a woman.
I feel like music in general is always about taking risks and being able to reinvent yourself and show different sides of you. And to me, the hardest part I feel is really opening up and being you in your music, because you got to be like raw and real to really connect with people.
Yeah.
You know, I have some songs that I'm thinking of when I can release them because they're so personal and I'm so afraid of putting that out there. And as a woman, I feel it's definitely all the people that come in there like, oh, I'm gonna help you. Wow, you all got connections, blah, blah, blah. And then it's all about just sleeping with you or getting you in bed. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. When do you feel like you're most in your zone?
I feel like definitely when I'm like, my most creative is when I'm hurt. I get the most creativity and I feel like the best things I do is always when I'm hurt. But I'm an introvert. I'm in my zone when I'm completely alone. When I'm like alone and hurting, that's when I like write the best stuff.
Okay.
That's when you're your best.
I think, yeah. When I see the stuff I write when I'm hurt, I'm like, yo, like this is like deep. This could really connect with people. But it's scary because there's so many people out there that hate me. And I'm like, am I going to open up about a song that's like, I don't know, for example, about my mom. I'm like, am I going to put that out there?
Yeah.
And let the people that hate me listen to this that is so deep and then attack me with it, because that's my weakness. So that's, I feel, is the hardest part.
Yeah.
So where were you when you wrote the song Ting?
Fashions out to promo, I'm the team. I take pics at STK, I'm the team.
Ting. So Ting, I was mad, but not in the sense of like hurt. Ting was more of a you, because I was like, I didn't want to read the comments at the beginning, and then I read them and I was like, this shit, I'm gonna answer to this, but I'm gonna answer in a song.
Okay.
Big tune, by the way.
No, it's a bit. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You even have that other tune, This to My Ex.
Vas a tener que rezarle al guachito pa' que te salve porque hoy vas a morir por haber hablado tanta mierda de mí.
Right?
Yeah, that's a big one too.
Right? And I heard the story about the fake military guy. And,
Yep.
Right?
So is that the swiper dude?
No, that's
no.
another one.
This is some, and I suggested to people to go to that Toronto show podcast to hear that story she told about this guy who was fake in the military. But, right? What's another worst waste man thing that you've dealt with? since moving to Toronto?
Okay, the hacker, that one. Which one am I forgetting? I haven't dated a lot of guys, and I haven't been like, I didn't really hook up with too many guys at all. Although the people think that it's like that, but I'm really like, I like being alone.
Yeah.
Aside from those two, another waste man. I mean, I had a couple of boys, but those were definitely the two worst. Those.
Stop.
Waste boy. She said waste man. Well, a couple of boys.
Aren't they the
There was a
same
couple of boys.
thing? Are they not the same thing?
I think there's levels.
But I mean, they
boy and
weren't
waste
as
man.
bad. I feel like with how bad these other guys were, these other dudes are just like a walk in the park. They're like, oh, whatever, you're not serious, or you're an idiot, or you're cheating. Like, I don't really give a fuck. I'm just not going to talk to you anymore. Like the guy in the video just to my ex, which is actually, he's the real guy. I talk about a story of how I like smashed his friend after. So
Yes.
that's his friend, the guy in the video. I got his actual friend.
Wow.
Wow, Taco, that's right up your alley, Petty Spaghetti Friday.
Petty spaghetti. for
Eddie
real.
ass.
Excuse me, just out of curiosity, are you a Cancer?
I'm a Gemini, but I have a Cancer
Bam,
ascendant
bam, bam.
and a Cancer moon.
I knew it.
May or June, Gemini. May or June.
Yes,
May or June.
she said Cancer Moon, and I knew it. I was like,
So then
And
she must be a
ascendant.
Gemini then. Gemini June.
yeah.
I had to put the sound
My-
effects on so you could hear those.
My whole chart is Gemini and Cancer, so I have that really petty Cancer side.
Gemini
Yes.
June. I can big up. I'm Gemini. I can relate. Gemini.
Oh man. Okay.
But yeah, that one was bad. That one, he was a boy, but he didn't like break my heart or take my money like the hacker. So it's like,
What's the biggest misconception anybody you feel people have about you?
there's so many. From me being a hoe, because I joke about it, so people actually think like, oh, like she's a hoe. I'm like, no, I barely talk to dudes. Also, like me being dumb. Like I'm actually in school. I'm in university. You know, I do want to make music, but at the same time, I look at music in a really like business side with everything I do. So I think those are the two biggest misconceptions.
I hear you mention school a lot. What are you studying?
I study economics and finance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. If the music
Girl
game
said she's
don't
about her
work, the
money.
finance
She said,
game
I'm
don't.
about the money.
She said, I'm
That's
all about
right.
this money. She was like, all right, guys. She's like, that's fine. Even if I can't do this music up front,
That's
I've
right.
got the money in my pocket, so we're okay.
You're in the bag
It's
no matter
fine.
which way.
Get your
I like
money,
that.
girl.
To be honest, it works out well because it has taught me so many things that I can transfer into music and looking at music in a really like business side that if
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have gone to school, I would have never learned. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
That's good.
I rate that. That's really dope. That's really dope. Rapid fire. Let's do it. Y'all ready for some rapid fire?
I hope you have good
What's that?
questions.
I hope you have some good ones.
I got some
I
good
hope
ones.
you have some good ones.
Some of the ones that are recurring ones, but you know, we got it.
That's okay.
So, Nanu, rapid fire is actually before we get to rapid fire. Skirt. Why did they call you Is Crazy Latina?
because I feel like my personality today, I actually did a little video about it. My personality as a Latina, even though I don't look like the stereotypical Latina, when you meet me or in my personality, in my energy, it shows. And definitely because of also the country I come, Argentina being really degenerate. We're a whole bunch of degenerates. Our culture in general.
I can't.
First place to legal Argentina, right?
Yeah, Argentina.
First place to legalize weed. Oh no, was that Argentina? No, that
that's
was not
Uruguay.
Argentina. That was Uruguay.
That's right
yeah.
next to it. Yeah.
Mm.
And my personality tends to come sometimes off in States or Canada or Europe as like really nuts. They're like, oh shit, you're nuts. Like over back home, it's normal. But over here, people are like, oh my God. So I was like, okay, crazy Latina. I'm just going to own it.
Hey, I dig it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so rapid fire. Nanu, aka Is Crazy Latina. Rapid fire is basically our segment where we ask quick questions and we're looking for quick answers. Okay?
Okay.
Doesn't have to be one word, but you know, rapid fire. Cardi B or Lil Kim?
Ooh, that's rough.
Cardi B.
That's rough.
You said Cardi B.
That's rough. She did.
Cardi B. Just because I listen to her more, but Lil Kim is like, she's the OG. She is like.
I knew what I was doing with that question right there.
You're an asshole.
Best country for food.
Oh, ish. I'm between Thai and Jamaican. I can't choose.
Thai and Jamaican.
What's your favorite?
Thai and Jamaican.
Sorry, guys.
Favorite one?
Favorite Jamaican food to eat?
Oxtail.
It's the oxtail boy. Look at you.
It's the oxtail bowl, eh?
Okay.
Telling you.
Sav, you're too much.
Favorite Toronto
I know.
slang.
Favorite Toronto slang. Just because of how they say it, nice it.
Nice it.
Nice it, fam. Nice it, fam. So I'm out here, eh? Nice it, fam.
Oh, man.
So a guy comes to me and goes like, nice it, and I'm like, that's it. I'm like, nice it, yes.
All right, note to you guys out there. Nice it.
No.
No, I'm playing. Okay.
Nanu likes nice it.
All right. COVID or the clap?
A clap?
COVID or the clap?
What's the clap?
It's an
Gonorrhea.
STD.
Gonorrhea.
Got COVID or gonorrhea? Do you take a pill for gonorrhea, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can cure gonorrhea. That's right. It's curable.
Okay, gonorrhea, 100%.
Don't worry, you're not in a small
Yeah,
boat.
that's a trick question.
Everybody else's
I'm like-
answer the same.
It's
Why
a trick
not?
question, Friday.
I just
It's like
take a
one of
pill
those-
and it's gone and I don't infect other people. Like, sure.
Yeah.
No, that's a trick question. We got to switch that one for rapid fire. Rapid question's not fair. Ain't nobody gonna be like, yeah, give me the vid.
Give me
the C vid. Ain't nobody gonna be like, yo, give me the C vid. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody.
Okay.
Ain't nobody
I'm like, I'm not
in
gonna
their
give
right
my
mind
mom
to be like,
gonorrhea.
yeah.
So I think of it like I wouldn't give my mom the clap. So that's the only thing that matters. Like, you know, I don't give it to my
Right.
family.
You're right.
Okay. So the last one I got here, and I took this from a show that I used to do back in the day called What Do You Think? If you have an amazing guy in every way, like everything he's good, like he's a good guy, he got your back, but the D is trash. Or someone who knocks it down, rich as F, but he's all the time. Which do you choose?
Because can I just be single?
Yeah,
You gotta
you're
choose
right,
one.
Single for that one.
Wow.
So
You know
let me
what?
repeat
I
it.
rather
The D
the
is
good
trash.
guy with bad dick.
So you want the okay. It's a good. You know what?
I mean, I feel like I talk a lot out of my ass when I'm like a rich guy, but I can't stand them. Like I can't stand them, and I'm like, I'm gonna make my own money. I don't need him to be rich, and I can. So meanwhile, he's nice and loyal and has my back. It's gonna be better than just like
Yeah.
I can make my own money and I can make myself laugh. So
I like that one.
Shit, the good guy with the shit, bitch.
yes. I mean, all the ones I had so far had shit dick.
The asshole with the long stroke. No asshole with the long stroke. Short
Yeah, because
stroke.
that's why he's still not
in the
around.
ocean, baby.
Oh man. All right, rapid fire session complete. Okay. So you do modeling for like car shows or used to do modeling for like car shows and stuff like that. Club hostings and stuff. How did you get into that lane?
Well, that was my first job ever. The way I got into it is like one day I walk into a club and the host of the club comes to me and is like, have you ever done modeling? And I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And he just started putting me on events and I became a car model. But around like, I feel like a year ago, I just stopped doing it because it's really hard. Even till now, I'm trying to clean up kind of like my audience in the sense of like hungry guys that are there just to see my ass and people who want my music. Like, even though car guys have supported me, at the end of the day, they're just there to see me naked or half naked. Like they don't want to see my music. So that's why I stopped doing it. They want you to
pose on their car. They want you
to
that's all they want. Pictures on their car. They go, can you just stand right here by my car and take a picture for me, please? Yeah, just bend over. Yeah.
bend over a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Just a little right by the motor. Just a little bit of chrome right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Even with the club hostings, right? You're doing club hostings and stuff like that. You're doing club hostings with Quavo and whatnot. Like, how you get that popping? Put us on the game,
That was crazy because the first time I got called for hosting was for a club in Mississauga in Anco. And basically people saw me hosting and they were like, holy shit, like she gets lit and she gets people lit. So then I had the gig in Rebel and from there on. So now I'm waiting for COVID to be done to start hosting again. But I really like hosting.
Yeah.
I really like hosting.
Yeah, that's like a good thing to keep your traction even going and then cross promote into your music and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I usually tell them to like play my music, or if not, I'm just always there like partying with people and getting to like, I'm getting people lit. So I feel like that kind of creates a connection with people. That's what I need to get right now.
Yeah.
So how about a crazy Latina quarantine radio style like Tory Lanez?
I try to, but everyone just wants me to take my pants off, and I'm like, bitch, I'm not gonna do that.
They want to cut to the point, like, hey, we want to see some nudity.
I'm like, I don't got girls coming into my life twerking. I'm not Tory Lanez. You know, if I was a male rapper, I would get a whole bunch of girls twerking. But I tried it, but I feel like I would have to start twerking myself. And even though I love doing it, I'm trying to keep my image as not as crazy in that sense, so that people don't confuse it, you know?
Keeping it twerk free. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, a little bit of twerk, but not I'm an OnlyFans girl type of twerk.
OnlyFans.
Can we speak about that OnlyFans?
Yes.
Because that was the biggest finesse of 2020, fam. Biggest finesse of 2020.
Oh, shit.
Like, I'm still worried, but I looked into everything. You know, I have my undergrad, my minor in law, so I looked into it that I'm not gonna get sued, that I'm safe. But holy
Yo, how was it when you dropped it? Like, how was the reaction?
Because everyone was always telling me, to me, it was kind of like half revenge and half like entertainment. And that's why I said I never said that I was going to be naked. And I was always joking about feet pics in my stories. So I was like, they're going to put 2 and 2 together. Like, they have to. That's all I talk about in my stories.
Okay, so for people that don't know, what is a fan-only page?
OnlyFans is where girls post
Explain.
pictures and get like a monthly subscription. They get money from it.
And Safari.
And usually the subscriptions are like $10-15. I racked it up at 50. I was like, what's the most I can charge for this?
Wow.
I put 50. And then
so how many
was just a whole
subscribers
bunch
did you
of
get?
pictures of my foot. I
How
got
many subscribers did you get?
around like 20.
That's not bad.
That's a rack. That's $1,000.
That's not bad.
That's $1,000.
Wow.
And then I got a bit more. I think I got to like 27, and were people with actual foot fetishes. So I was like, yo, this
That's
works.
what I'm saying. Yo, foot fetishes are a thing though. So they can't be mad at you. This is the wrong audience.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And
it's
I
the
never
wrong
lied
audience.
about it.
Wow.
I never sold the route marketing. I said that it had a twist, and I've been talking about feed pics all in my stories. So it was not, I mean, a lot of people, even when I put the OnlyFans, were like, it's your foot, right? It's your f***ing foot. And I was like, surprise.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Oh, that's dope.
Brilliant. Because, certain man, I don't want to call out certain man, but certain man have foot fetish in the game. So, certain man was like, oh my God, wow.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for this. You understand what I'm saying?
So you can go.
To be honest, I was
about
playing my haters because my haters were all like, go to porn, get an OnlyFans, go to porn, get an OnlyFans. I'm like, okay.
It's a brilliant troll. It was a brilliant troll.
That's dope. That's dope. Okay.
It wasn't a troll, you know. She still made a bag.
Yeah, no fault.
No, it was still a troll though.
Yeah.
It was still a troll. Because people are thinking, only page or whatever how you say it. Yeah, you're gonna see nudes, and she's like, yeah, see my foot, yeah. Hold that, hold that. Yo, awesome. Hands down, awesome, amazing. Best 2020 finesse, yes, Gussie, I agree. Amazing.
Let me ask you here, with everything that you do, right? Because you're all over the place. You've seen a lot of different things in a short space of time of your life, right? especially in the entertainment industry. You know what I mean? You've gone through the car show stuff. You're in the music game. You're all over doing different things, meeting different people. Have you ever been in one of those Me Too situations, like AKA the whole Harvey Weinstein guy, like how he was dealing with people?
So many, like I can't even start smoking many of them. I feel like by now I just became, I don't know if the word is unsensitized, but I kind of like smell them and I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of my biggest ones, without saying names to not get into bullshit, but there was a really big artist that came to Toronto and like really, really big. And I was told to open for him. And before opening, they tell me that I have to go to a hotel. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, well, yeah, if you want to open, you have to go to the hotel, the person who organized this event. And I was like, well, f- that. I'm not opening. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I told him to fuck off. And then the worst thing is I try to jump on stage to still perform. And they kicked me out. But, you know, at least they saw who I was and that I didn't give a f- and that I was still going to jump on that stage.
Wow.
So there's footage of this somewhere.
This footage is somewhere, yes. This footage is somewhere.
Let's leave it there. Let's just leave it there.
Yeah. Because I don't want to get in too much trouble for it. Because I feel like even the artist is going to be so mad if he knows that happened. He's just like, let's leave it there.
Well, listen, it's something that like out here it needs to not be happening. So if anything, it's just an alert for him to be able to, he needs to pull up his socks and start flying right. You know what I'm saying? As well as other
100%.
guys out here, because, you know, it overshadows the talent women like yourself and other women have when men sexualize you and don't give you the opportunities that you deserve. You know what I'm saying?
It's because when it happened to me, I was so shocked because I worked with these people before. Like I have done shows for them and everything. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? But you realize that as a woman in this industry is so fucking hard. Like we have it 10 times harder because guys are constantly trying to get into bed with us. And some of them are easy to spot. You spot them at the beginning. You're like, oh, this idiot just wants that. But some of them you spot them later. You already work with these guys. Maybe you like have a song, whatever. And down the road, they show their true colors. And it's an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, the long game, basically. Yeah.
It's not checkers.
Facts. Okay.
Facts.
Last question here. I see you got a lot of commentary on the gram and stuff like that. Besides music, what else do you want to do? Like, what do you feel as like your full glow up? Like,
I think of myself aside from, because like music is my main thing and what I want to focus myself completely. The other day my dad calls me and he's like, hey, so you're about to finish your degree. Are you gonna, go work, I don't know, in a bank or something? I'm like, nope, it's gonna be music. I'm sorry. Aside from that, just I feel like Nanu in general is creating like a brand. I was even thinking of like a makeup line and just much more than just music, like generating a message and getting it out there. Yeah. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. No, it's real talk because you do really good music and all the songs that you have out so far are fire. But I see so many different assets to your personality that you should be used more into entertainment industry than just your music. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm definitely getting into acting. I'm getting everything ready. Sadly, because of COVID, I had to kind of put a pause into it, but I am getting into acting. I feel like as myself, as an artist, not only a singer or a rapper. Yeah. I just want to, as corny as it sounds, I just want to entertain people. Like I'm a super depressed person. So to me, knowing that I can entertain someone, like that's like my meaning in life, to know that I can make someone else laugh or kind of like make them forget about the bullshit they're going through. Like that's my thing.
That's dope.
Yeah, well, before the CVID, we seen you perform.
Yeah.
I remember you guys were there.
Yeah, we seen you performing before the CVID.
Six mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and you have a presence on the stage. You have a stage performance, a stage presence.
Waiting on your call. It's 5 a.m. in the 6 and I'm all alone.
Yeah.
And obviously the track, it was the thing that you performed, if I'm not mistaken. And the way that you go from the English into the Spanish with the music, it's actually pretty good. Like, and I'm not just saying that to say that, but it was good. Like when I'm watching, because Gutsy was telling us like, "Yo, watch, you're gonna see what's up." And then when you went on stage and you performed, it was like, "Oh, ish, okay." Yeah. So you have that like that kind of Shakira vibe to your flow, like to your whole thing with that performance style, right?
Yeah. And Nanu in the building, aka is Crazy Latina. Okay, I want to hold you for a moment. We got something called Smoke and Mirrors.